Memphis police were dispatched to a shooting scene, discovering a shooting victim laying motionless on the ground. The victim, 20-year-old up-and-coming Memphis rapper Big CEO, formerly known as CBG Baby CEO, first came to the attention of the internet back in November 2014, being seen smoking on Facebook, coughing his lungs up and talking incoherently. The Facebook video went viral, with people wondering where his mother was, or why he was even recording himself smoking a blunt. Although people were laughing at the video, delving deeper into the backstory of this young man may explain why he was doing this at such a young age. Born on October 22, 2000, Jonathan Kyron Brown was the son of Ernest and Luciana Brown. Apparently he accepted Christ from an early age, but despite the city of Memphis being referred to as the buckle of the Bible Belt, it is also a place which sees high rates of gun crime, poverty, and murder. Brown was exposed to a typical Memphis upbringing, and just as he reached his teenage years, his family life was being affected. Around the time that he dropped his first video, his sister had been arrested, and was sitting in the local county jail on aggravated burglary, robbery, and kidnapping charges. Furthermore, it has been said that his parents were also in and out of custody. This was bad enough, but a worse ordeal was yet to come for Brown. An ordeal was about to strike that would put Jonathan Brown on the path toward a music career. 17-year-old Ernest Dwayne Brown, nicknamed Bud, was the older brother of Jonathan Brown. In a regular occurrence within the city, Bud became a victim of a shooting, which resulted in his death. 13-year-old Brown would be devastated by the loss of his older brother, with him posting to Instagram that he missed him every second, of every minute, of every hour. With no real support structure in place, Brown decided to turn his energy towards creating music. It shouldn't be surprising that he began rapping about shootings, because this was what he had been exposed to in his city. Although it was troubling to see a young boy waving a pistol, it was something that spoke volumes. This is what many Memphis kids grow up seeing and experiencing on a daily basis, and there's no avoiding it. Probably because of the attention surrounding his social media antics, popular Chicago rapper Fredo Santana would inbox Baby CEO, requesting that he join his music label, Savage Squad Records. Although no paperwork was reportedly signed, Baby CEO accepted the offer, and was taken under the wing of someone who knew the music industry. Roughly a year following his brother's murder, Brown dropped a music video titled F the Ops. He was only 14 when he appeared in his first public rap music video. In this video, Brown can be seen toting a pistol with an extended magazine, whilst older men brandished guns, aiming them at the camera. Brown looks and sounds very young in the video, much younger than 14, and even though the comment section of the video is now turned off, the disturbing behavior caught on video was being criticized, and felt by everyone, especially by those in his community. Unsurprisingly, the media caught wind of the music video, and ran with the story, capitalizing on the insanity of the situation. Back in July 2015, this was big news, and everyone was concerned with the future outcome for Baby CEO. Whatever energy you put out, you tend to receive. Therefore, the video made people question the older men who just stood around, or participated in it. They were clearly a bad influence for Brown, but at the end of the day, he was old enough to know better, and blame couldn't be entirely placed on those around him. He had been seen holding guns in photos even prior to the video, so this wasn't something that he was forced into doing on the day of the video shoot. The music video helped to showcase the reality of the Memphis street environment. People as young as Brown often tote guns, and project a persona like this, because it gains attention, is seen as cool, and children receive validation and praise from their peers and older role model figures within the community. Memphis has always been a war zone, with children carrying out the vast majority of shootings and murders within the city. Like with much of the United States, the reasoning behind shootings has drastically changed in Memphis. Whereas in the past, it was mostly to do with issues over money and powder, now it has become about gaining a reputation for being a shooter or killer. Young men are crashing out, becoming part of local cliques that fight over trivial issues, gunning each other down in shootings, which continue until everyone is either in prison or the graveyard. It is a sad cycle, but it is the reality in Memphis, and much of the United States. Baby CEO's music video quickly began circulating online, with popular YouTuber DJ Academics reporting on the story. He had been sent the video by the rapper himself. Academics, who became popular with his War in Chirac series, covered the story and it further gained popularity on big platforms like YouTube. The shock factor was the main reason as to why people were tuning in, and although the video began amassing views, it also brought problems to Baby CEO. Jonathan Brown would attend juvenile court in late July, ultimately violating his probation, and being kept in custody until summer 2016. Upon being freed, he released a First Day Out track, and soon began dropping more music, collaborating on tracks with Fredo Santana, before eventually releasing a mixtape in October of that same year. Baby CEO continued releasing tracks into 2017, with his most viewed song being a remix of Take's The Race. This hit 1.5 million views. Even with his music gaining traction, he wasn't nearly as popular as other artists, but following the unexpected death of Fredo Santana in early 2018, Baby CEO's videos began increasing in numbers. He would mourn the loss of Fredo Santana, whom he viewed as a father figure. Santana had given him a platform, a way to vent his emotions and see a new way of living. With Santana's assistance, Brown had traveled to different states, and was seeing a new way of living. He would soon transition toward a new name in 2019, becoming Big CEO, and even though he was still showcasing heavy artillery in music videos, you could sense a change in the young rapper. He would appear in a photo alongside his partner, who was pregnant with his son. Unfortunately, the rapper would never get to provide a stable upbringing for his own son, as the Memphis streets claimed his life in early 2021. His death came 3 years to the day that his father figure Fredo Santana died, and fans took to social media to mourn his death. The cycle of tragedy continued, with Brown's father being arrested, later receiving 19 years for a DUI crash. Brown was drinking, and had ran a stop sign, colliding with a car. The crash resulted in the death of 24-year-old Kenesha Dandridge. Fortunately, the 5-year-old that was in the backseat survived. To this day, the person who murdered Jonathan Brown is uncharged and not convicted. There is little information regarding his case online, but many people pointed toward a close friend as being the killer. Like with many cold cases, the motive for his murder remains a mystery, and with no new updates, it looks as though the case will stay unsolved. Rest in peace to Jonathan Kyron Brown, Big CEO.